Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another fine edition of Team Fortress TV. It is I, TurboTabs, and I'm not alone. I'm here with the lovable Beta. Say hello to the nice people, Beta.
Hello, everyone. This is the Sunday crew. I'm pretty sure that every single Sunday.
Crew.
Yeah.
We'll get that printed on the T-shirts. We'll pop them up in iSeries and all that. That is, if we see you at iSeries, Beta. Oh no, I don't want to spoil things. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
Oh yeah. Like I was promised some beers, and I'm gonna come in to collect. That is my thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. You've got like God knows how many years of beers to collect now. Anyway, speaking of beers to collect, we've got JMaxchill in our production area. This man deserves like a mountain of beers because he's doing the almost thankless job of production. So he's going to be providing you with all the nice bells and whistles here tonight, as we're going to be covering quite a spicy match here, Beta. But before we get into it, we should probably mention that it is ETF2L Season 42, Week 1, as we kick things off. And my, 42, we're in a midlife crisis. We're buying the sports car, we're getting the toupee off our head. It's a long season. But our game tonight will be top5rocket versus NOOBPANZER. And these two teams have quite a legacy here, really, a name anyways, Vita.
Yeah, like obviously top5rocket is the old school French team that's been around for a very long time. They've had various lineups, but this almost seems like the most consistent one that they've ever had. So just to go through it real quick, it's Patchouli on Medic, great Medic, Elicor and Demo Man. Haven't seen him in a while, but great Demo Man. Then we have Korvac and Dwo on Soldier. I think Korvac's going to be the pocket. I'm not quite sure, but those are two extremely good pockets. And then we have Neo and ACN on Scout. So Neo's like the guy that kind of was around forever, and then he sort of blew up in a couple of seasons, and now we know him as one of the best scouts in Europe. And then we have AZN, who's one of the new kids on the block. He's so good, he gets accused of cheating. We might see some sniper going on. Like, you know, obviously
this man's been to a LAN, okay, he's been to a LAN. He's cleared his name, surely, right?
When was he out of the land?
Didn't he go to the latest French land? The guy, all the Frenchies are a bit sharpened from this French land, so maybe that was the main talking point.
I was sure he didn't go. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, fair play. All right, well, over on the NOOBPANZER team, we do have Vanny making his return to the Medic class. He kind of dipped out for a few seasons, and we've got GGGGG, or I guess you could just call him Joe. Yep, it's just Joe, not Joe Mama. Joe Cousin, it's just Joe over on Demoman. Amty and Rons will be playing the soldiers. I'm pretty sure Rons is on that roaming soldier because he's quite an impact player. And Amty is obviously a pretty good soldier as well. Gwendolyn, that's a bit of a question mark for me. I'll own up to it. I haven't seen that name too much here in my past memory, but who knows? They'll maybe make waves tonight. And Yeehaw, well, this guy's the stat king. Why do I even say any more words about him?
Yeah, he definitely established himself as probably like this guy with the best aim in Europe. He's just an absolute DM beast. And I actually looked up Gwendolyn, and I couldn't I looked up on RGL, and
I'm getting a bunch of Dark Souls sent out to me. I'm sent to Google. He's just not on my radar here, Peter. Is he a Dark Souls main? Who knows?
I don't know. But, like he's been sort of in invite and in like advanced. I think it's the one below invite. So he's kind of been going up and down. So and currently he's on an invite team that's sort of one of the worst in invite in RGL. So. Like maybe it's an up and comer that I haven't heard of. Maybe it's just like a pretty low tier scout. Not quite sure. So I'm completely in the same boat as you. I've never really heard of him. So we'll see.
I am kind of tied to my region, so I will, please forgive out there the Americans. But I know it's also a factor that we need to bring out that this guy's going to be playing with higher ping than your average player, and ping can matter. Maybe less so for the scouts, as those bullets will kind of, and that kind of teleporting may come in handy for the nimble scout. But I don't know, it's just a whole different game, isn't it?
I mean, talent is talent. So if you're good enough, you can kind of overcome it. But yeah, like in general, when you have high ping, your dodging is going to be worse. And you'll just end up taking more damage, and it's going to be slightly more frustrating. You're going to lose some DM fights that you wouldn't otherwise. But yeah, you can kind of get by on Scout at least. It's kind of fine. And then I've also mentioned that Empty is kind of tagged up as an American. I don't know why. He's very clearly still in Europe. judging by his pick. So and I also think he's going to be Roma and Ron's going to be Pocket. I think that's kind of their usual roles that they've been going on. And then, of course, I'm pretty sure Joe is trying to collect every single class in Prem, right? Because we've seen him Scout, we've seen him Soldier, now he's on Demo Man. Like, next season, it's going to be Medic.
It is nice to get that sort of full bingo card. But it's week one, and I kind of want to talk about just the whole journey of the ETF2L season, because you find a lot of times that people look at the first week of these teams and think, like, this is as good as it gets. This is the teams, accept them, hate them, or whatever. But it's usually the stepping point. Like, a lot of teams can improve on. And do you think these two teams have a lot of room to breathe or grow here, Beta? Or do you think it really is what you get in this week one?
I think you never see the full picture in week one. I feel like top 5 Rocket for them is mostly going to be about, like, just kind of, I don't want to say de-rust, because I don't think they're completely rusty, but I could see them not really playing up to their full potential right now. They need to just get into the swing of things and just get going. They've been pretty inconsistent in the last couple of seasons as far as I remember. And it's just been where, like, they will eventually get into, like, pretty good shape, but they've been looking real shaky before that. So maybe that's going to be the case this season as well. Time will tell. Like, if you just look at the names, they're huge favorites. It's a great team, but like, maybe it's going to just take a little while for them to really get going. And then on the other side, I kind of feel like NOOBPANZER is probably one of these dark horse teams that could absolutely shake things up and just steal points from teams where you'd think they had no business doing it, because they have this really nice mix of good established players and then wild cards and, like, weird off-classing talent and nobodies that we've never heard of that could just come in and be weird and good, right? So
obviously going into the season, teams usually have a rough plan or a rough idea or goals that they have for this season. Do you think age can ever play into, like, the hunger factor? Usually when you get into your first Prem or your first couple of Prems, you kind of want to make a big impact, a big splash, because it's not only your performance as a team, but your performance as a player. It could mean, like, those invites on those later rosters, you know?
Yeah, I guess. I think most people, when they first get into Prem, they just don't want to embarrass themselves. I think that's usually the attitude that most people bring to Prem when they first get into Prem. Right?
That's my everyday of TF2. Please don't embarrass yourself. That's why I stopped playing.
Yeah, like. Yeah. I just played my first games in like 6 months yesterday. It was embarrassing. It was good times. But yeah, like, just imagine that a whole bunch of people are actually watching you as well on TF2E, right? So that just gives you more pressure. And I think most teams are trying to, but I will say, I don't think that NOOBPANZER is in that situation. I think they have enough seasoned veterans. Like, they have Vanny, they have Rons, they have Yeehaw. They're going to be, like, aiming higher than just not sucking. I think they actually want to be good, and I think they have the capability to be good. It's just going to be all about, like, how good is Joe going to be on Demo Man? How good is MT going to be? Like, he's kind of an up-and-comer. It's just a matter of, like, he's had, like, a few seasons in Prem. I want to say 2. I can't remember. But he's an up-and-comer, and he could be really good. It's just a matter of, like, how good is he? Because I feel like most players, first they get good, and then people notice. Right, so it's just a matter of, has he actually gotten good? And now we just need to notice, or does he just still need some work?
All right, Beta, I'm just going to flat out ask: are these 2 top 4 teams that we're watching tonight, or are these contenders for the top 4 teams, or are their sites going to be a lot more humble in their goals of ETF2L?
Top 5 Rocket should definitely aim for top 4. That's for sure.
Top 5.
No, top 5 Rocket is not, like, top 5 is not good enough for top 5 Rocket. That's all right. So I'm kind of thinking Witness Gaming and TF2 Easy and top 5 Rockets. Those are, like, my pretty much shoe-in playoff guess. And then after that, it's going to be pretty difficult to say what's going to go on. And I really have no clue how it's all going to shake out. There's a lot of really interesting teams where it's like a couple of players that are kind of, like, really accomplished, and then they have a couple of other players that could be really good, but we just don't know yet. But, like, absolutely, I think NOOBPANZER is they're in contest They need to contest for the top 4.
That dark horse sort of badge does lean to the fact that, you got some wiggle room. If things go a bit sour tonight, it's not the end of the world. You can still dark horse it up a little bit later down the line. But top 5 Rocket have got a bit more of that pressure and that sort of pedigree people are expecting of them. But they're established names and they're established teams, so they can probably shake it off dead easily.
Yeah, you'd absolutely think so.
All right, Vita, we're going to go into our first map. It's going to be Process. It's basically a grand start to our ETF2L season because it's probably the most popular map in the entire map pool.
Yeah, this is the kind of the new Badlands, right? Like Badlands used to be the most popular one, and like Process has definitely taken that throne from it, and it's just a really well balanced map, and it has these incredible rollouts that you can do, so they're just fun.
Yeah, well, on the bright side, they don't have to worry so much about that pesky market gardener, so maybe...
That's true.
So which team do you think is leaning a bit more towards the map tonight? I know teams, every time I ask them, it doesn't matter which map we play, but I mean, it does really. So which one is kind of a bit more happy about playing this Process map? Maybe the ones with the better scouts?
Yeah, Process tends to favor scouts, and Gullywash, which is going to be playing next, tends to favor soldiers. So you could kind of look at it in that lens. It's not really an absolute thing. Like Process tends to be, you can do big plays on soldier, but your KD and damage output's going to be garbage. But like you can still have a big impact. It's just going to be like the scout to get all the kills and damage. So I'm going to go with, I think top 5 rockets are going to be just a bit too good on Process. I think the soldier is going to be like superior on the mid fights, and then I think Neo and AZN are going to be slightly better than Yeehaw and Gwendolyn.
I'm going to be controversial, not for the sake of just the fact that you picked the other team, but and I'm just doing the devil's advocacy here, but I fully predict that NOOBPANZER are going to take it tonight. I think they're going to splash out heavy here on this Process map, and I think we have to watch the stat man himself, Yeehaw. I just feel it in my bones, where he's the kind of scout that can exploit a team that needs those first couple of weeks to kind of figure out what they're doing and the coordination and all this, and I feel like that guy's going to just pop off. And now that I've installed the caster curse, we'll see. It's really going to be an interesting match now.
Yeah, I also like slightly agree with you that the slightly less established teams should probably really like these two maps because they're the most standard pickup maps in existence in TF2, like Gullywash and Process. Those are the maps you play first, right? Like that and Snakewater. So that could favor them a little bit over top 5 Rocket, who could probably sit down and like geek out about some new maps and like just figure out Bagel or Clear Cut or whatever we decide to play. So should be pretty interesting to see how it goes, but anything could really happen. I'm not confident about either team just having a chance in this, but yeah, take it away on this first mid here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first week of the coverage of top 5 Rocket versus NOOBPANZER. NOOBPANZER in the red trunks and top 5 Rocket in the blue, and we're already kicking things off with an aggressive anti being blocked up by Ron's here, but Ron's going to get farmed pretty easily as there's nobody really to follow up all of that aggression from the soldiers coming out of NOOBPANZER, so maybe a bit too keen here to start off this Process map, Vita.
Yeah, it kind of ended up being like a 1-2 punch that didn't really punch very hard, as we have an instant pause.
The 1-2 pause.
Yeah. Oh, look at the capping prowess of the Frenchies.
Cool, they're
literally all in there. I've never seen that. They're all on the point.
It's like a little town meeting before they make a push.
That's incredible.
Good start, guys. Good start. Huddle up. All right.
Yeah.
How are we going to take this second?
It was kind of like Empty went in really early, and then Rons came in to follow up, but like Empty didn't do that much, and then Rons just kind of was left alone because Empty had jumped out, and then no one else was able to get in there in time. So, sort of a little bit what I said with like, the soldiers not being quite as good.
It sounds like you're saying a very fancy way of Empty baiting Rons there.
Maybe. I mean, I assume it was the plan all along, right?
It's fine. They're feeling them out, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, call back. He's wasting no time, and got to keep him in the back of our minds here that the pause will come in at some weird point of the game. Is that Krieg? Okay,
AZ just picks him off. There you go. That was a double sack, and it works out perfectly. Actually, Patchouli, I don't think he has Uber He's not building at all. He's not stuck right. No, he's just not building. Okay, but they don't actually know that on NOOBPANZER, so they don't go for Patchouli here at all. So really nice job there. Didn't waste any time, and obviously you can't waste any time because you only have 5 minutes to work with now, not 10. I mean, it doesn't usually mean very much, but it is a thing to keep in mind that you don't have forever to work with. But like 5 minutes is still enough time that you can do banner plays and all sorts of other stuff with the suicide waves. So good times there. No one's really on second to contest here at all for NOOBPANZER, so it looks like it's going to be just a full Uber push here and on to last.
Yeah, it's looking pretty cookie cutter. Well, let's see if it spoils the cookie as we're going to bomb in right now. Pop in the Uber, get him on top of the heavy weapons guy. He is going to kind of negotiate them away, just kind of push them off. And they have a sentry gun to deal with during all of that. They do clean up the sentry gun, but that's done its job. It's at the Uber, and now they've maintained to their size. Losing duo hurts for their team as you need every sort of bit going off if you want to make this last push happen. So they wisely back out after losing that player and that Uber.
Yeah, and there's MT leaving the game, so that's certainly where the pause is. Yep, there we go. All right, we got to push out. There are going to be a soldier down, but hopefully he's going to respawn and just be able to hold last so they can just push out properly here. Vanny is on full ad, but ACN's on sniper and already making his presence known. That's not the medic, but that's still a great pick, and there's a soldier behind.
Vanny's popped. He's popped very, very early, and they're in a wonderful place for them to kite out. And they have managed to cap off the point, and they have dealt with that player. And
yeah, Patchouli was so close to dying. He actually landed on a med kit to save himself there. That was really clutch by him.
Oh no, Joe's going to go down again. Oh no, actually manages to get a clutch it out with a nice pipe onto duo, so that player will be handled swiftly. But they get the second point back. They've got this Uber charge in the bag again. The only sort of weird kind of shaped issue here is AZN on that sniper. It doesn't really have the biggest presence or capping power, but they're going to make it work here. They're going to slowly push in from 5 and working off that AZN sniper instead, realizing that they don't need to pop off this Uber. They can just take their time with it, as they won't have the Uber just yet over on a NOOBPANZER, but they're farming a lot of players here, and what's worse is they do end up using that Uber, but they've lost so many people. It's like the worst scenario for this Uber charge. If Patchouli goes down here, it's a nightmare scenario, and yes, he will go down as well. It's the worst timeline here for top5rocket beta.
Yeah, they got in so far without popping, but they ended up just milking it too much, and then eventually just ended up all going down. They lost players before the Uber could really come in, and at that point, you're like, should I get out? Like, you want to get out without using, but then the more you get out, the more damage you take, and you can lose players. And just all sort of ended up going down. AZN continues to ring out headshots there. Going to take Yeehaw down. That's going to mean there's less cap time on the point. Not going to stop the second point from going down, or the mid point from going down, but it might stop the second point, just because you don't have a scout to run in with Uber and cap this point at the same time. So they're wasting a lot of time here just having to just account for this sniper, not having an extra scout to work with. And this could actually just mean that Patchouli is going to be able to get on to a full Uber before Vanny even comes in there with his own. So actually a really nice pick off there from ACN, even though like a scout pick is not usually something that you would see as very flashy.
It's kind of scary. Usually as a scout or these soldiers or these other classes that aren't really the hot pick for a sniper, they feel almost this little immunity, like unless you play like a swift game of Viaduct. But you know what I mean? Usually you're not on the dinner plate. You're not the one being gobbled up by these headshots. But now everyone has to play with this sort of fear factor, and it brings out the worst in these teams usually. Amty going for a jump, but gets isolated and followed up rather quickly by these scouts and soldiers. And now with both of these Ubers kind of in between these teams ready to pop, I can see maybe top5rocket wanted to make something happen here, especially with AZN kind of popping off as he is.
Yeah. All right. I should mention that Gwendolyn is not in the server. Actually, it's actually Hemp. So.
Oh, embarrassing.
Yeah, we didn't mention that at all. So, just thought I'd make a mention of that before.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
All right, these two teams, they're popped off Uber, they're doing the Uber dance where they're grinding up against each other and realise that nobody can really play off it. Hemp has got some stylish moves, doing some backward jumps and everything, kind of showing off whether or not he's coming or going, and they have to give it up here. top5rocket, they've given up too much ground, and oh my! Did somebody get the license plate on that soldier? He just took out Elacor and a kamikaze, and without a demo man on this last, that's almost a sign to push here for NOOBPANZER.
Yeah, like Ron's got behind really well, took up so much space, and now that could actually just mean that they get pushed. Okay, it was just going to end up being empty going down here, trying to make a play happen. Joe might be trying to do a play on his own.
Oh, Vanny! Oh, solid rockets coming out from Duo. That's going to definitely be the push for top 5 rocket now. They're going to try and weasel their way in. They have to worry about maybe some backcap potential, but Korbach is on the job. Oh, no, he is not on the job. He's retired. He's being sent to last. They need to block the point, but they haven't got anybody to block the point. Oh, that could have been disastrous here for them. I told you about this kid, Beta. Beta? Hello?
Our control point is being captured.
Oh, and I'm back.
Oh, you're back. Okay, I thought I was disconnected there. I was connecting all the cables. I was sacrificing tabs to the internet gogs. Oh, thank God. Okay, well, my internet is in a wonderful place right now, and it seems like top 5 rocket, they're in a wonderful place too. They've got an Uber charge advantage, and they had a nice little kind of silent in their ear for it from the stream, so that's probably what's motivated them to get this second point. Easy peasy.
Yep, they have a small advance to work with, but it's not very big. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see if they can actually do anything here.
Well, there goes the sentry gun, callback, following some nice fundamentals. Actually, they're in. They're kind of weaseling away in, and there is an Uber charge between both of these two teams, but they're seeing if they can just, like, get it out of Vanny before... Wait, Vanny went down! Vanny went down during all the chaos! I was so shocked by this, I didn't even notice it! And I've got hacks!
Alright, and my TF2 crashed, so keep going, my friend.
Alright, well, they're going to awkwardly pop Uber on this second point as they were being chased out by NOOBPANZER. You know, you take out that medic, a lot of teams just go blood-curdling rage and try and go for the enemy medic, and it worked out this time. They force out that Uber charge, they're all back on second, but they will get a head start on building the new one over on top 5 rocket, so build away, as Hemp is also building away a sentry gun to gobble up that next that Uber coming in. So let's see. What other sorts of trimmings have we got in this little defense? Not seeing anything too shocking. You know, Sticky's on point, Heavy on top. Bonds is there, just kind of chilling, hanging out with his raccoon hat. The usual, you know. Whilst over on the side of top 5 rocket, they're also looking at drywall, and now they've got Uber charge ready, but with just a 10% advantage, I don't think they really want to push off this. No dot pushing is being made, and they're just going to just chalk this up to a lost Uber advantage and go back to the drawing board, see what sort of shenanigans they can play up there.
Still join it.
That's fair, that's fair. It's okay. Everyone's been very patient for you, Beta. They're building a dispenser and everything. The Iron Man strat. I will not jinx anybody this time, though, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm watching the stream. It looks like we're in like the classic slow game here, and like AZN has just decided to go perma sniper as well.
I do like the little change on their positions here. I mean, it's obviously it's almost like required against these snipers, and I don't think any Prem team with Assault doesn't do this, but the rule is dispenser. That's mildly annoying, but I like that they're holding close, that's all. AZN, he's already been kind of predicted, I think, being shot at round these corners as well, and I do wonder if it's worth just throwing a man in there, getting some distracted eyes for the sniper to work with, Beta.
You can absolutely send a guy up onto the high ground behind when there's a sentry gun. Because the wall on the right side is kind of closing it off, so you can absolutely distract the soldier.
It's a scout pick. Again, the scouts need to fear these sort of snipers that don't mind and picking and choosing what target they're going to grab. AZN, he gets the funny pick! He gets the pick onto the medic. This is definitely the time to go. And they're holding so close now, and it's going to be to their detriment. There's nowhere for this demo to run and hide. They're already capping the point. They're high-fiving practically on the point, and finally the first round will give in on this process map with 19 minutes left to go.
Yeah, that's just AZN hitting the clutch shot, right? Like they did a pretty good job of gaining him some space and just instantly taking down the medic. Very simple push after that. So yeah, good job by them. That's gonna be a first round here. Not a very clean round for top 5 rocket, but they'll definitely take it.
Hello, where is the demo man for Elocor? He must have walked it in as he was rather late coming into this new mid. To that point where Joe was like, who do I fire at? Who do I target? Oh, 1 HP warrior will get taken out by AZN. and the skirmishers are slightly leaning towards the new Panzer, but they've kind of split up against everybody here. They could have just blobbed up a bit more and started picking off these players one by one, but they decide to just play it off instead. AZN goes for the flank, gets blindsided by Yeehaw, and with two scouts, buffed up scouts, need I remind you, against Neo and Ellicor. I think it's curtains here for top 5 Rocket, unless backup man is coming back in, goes suicides onto Hemp, and Ellicor, he's still alive, and he will go down now, and time for the second mid-fight, Peter. Vanny does like a nice little surf against Duo, but I don't think he was in any real danger there.
Yeah, very long-winded mid there. Kind of eventually top 5 Rocket got caught in the corner there with Patchouli and the Scout and Ellicor and the Demo Man, and they just slowly got whittled down. So it kind of worked out for NOOBPANZER there to not bunch up. They just ended up kind of flanking top 5 Rocket, who was sort of in the corner by themselves. So pretty interesting how that worked out. But that was just basically DM fight, and yeah, Yeehaw got a 4K on that mid, did a ton of damage.
Early Uber. Anti-sniper when there was no snipers, and they take out the sentry gun rather quickly. Rons is already pressuring them at top here, but he's caught in a really difficult spot against this heavy weapons guy. Will get kind of gobbled up, and it's really down to these scouts to make the rest of the work here. But if you keep throwing enough blue players, I just don't think they can make the last push happen.
No, not quite going to be able to do it. Hemp is still around, but I think they know where he is roughly at. Okay, now they do, so they can just push forward with no fear at all. Pretty interesting. There's a soldier that's threatening to go in. I don't think... Oh, he is going to go in.
He's going behind. I don't know what he was hoping for here, as he will get cleaned up rather easily. He does make some space for his team to get in, though. A lot of diverted eyes, but is it to their own doom here, Peter? There is an Uber charge here. A lot of teams would take that.
Yeah, I don't understand why Vanny went in that deep. That seems really sketchy, because if Patchouli just decided to go forward, he could just like have a scout with him on him immediately. But I guess that was just an aggressive play to try and throw them off. And it wasn't a disaster by any means, but it could have definitely gone very wrong. But now top of Rocket didn't come through with his choke. So down the medic. Doesn't quite hit him. That's unfortunate.
It was the right place, just the wrong rockets, I guess, for Rons there. But you know, I think that's usually the harder aspect.
Yeah, still gonna be ending up. Okay, soldiers in. Actually onto the medic. Gets a nice. There's 2 soldiers in now on the medic, but so
Vanny. Nice little surfs coming out from the lad. Will make it hard work and make them sweat here over on top 5 Rocket, but that was just a little initial plan A to see if they can coax that Uber out of them. They will make the push out now, because a pick is a pick, and Ellicor might be focused out here, getting caught on the little doorway. Will get out, but NOOBPANZER looks like they're back in this round.
Yeah, nice push out there, really punishing top 5 Rocket for sending in the double soldier. So being 2 soldiers now means there's not going to be a whole lot of spam, and they just made it through the choke.
Bronze, he actually gets the force off this time. Again, the power of being in the right place, but maybe the wrong rockets. Oh, nice little set of pipes, and pick off power from Neo. Will get that scout pick, but they just need to kind of kite things out here, and they could maybe make the brave push to push out, and they will pop off over onto 1. Ellicor's caught behind, and they do block off second, so all these back caps that they've sent
I think Ellicor's trying to spawn camp. Yeah, he is along with Dwarf as well. There's 2 soldiers there.
Everyone's spread so thin though over on top 5 Rocket. There's just too many cooks in this kitchen, and they're just getting cleaned up all over the place. They do reconnect on second point now. They're actually capping it in this little ring around the roses with NOOBPANZER. They come back in, delay that cap, and yeah, they actually get the pick off into the medic as well. And Ellicor's going to go down. It's a practical wipe here against top 5 Rocket, and NOOBPANZER. I think they're a little bit worried about somebody finishing off this second pointer. That's why you don't see them jolting straight to mid.
Yeah, a bit too greedy there from top 5 Rocket trying to cap out that second point. That was very bold. But another pick at Dwoke, and he is going to do that.
No, it's MGE mode now. He actually goes up for the jump instead. He's going to get the pick onto Vanny.
Wow.
He not only gets the back cap, he gets a bonus pick onto Vanny as well. And top 5 Rocket, all they can do is get the actual equalizer on Patchouli. What sort of crazy game have we gone into? Now, the rest of the troops are going in over New Panzer as well. The only cold, calm souls we have is Joe and Hemp on that second point, making this last man stand over on second point, but they think wiser of it. They do back out and give them respect. Oh my god, yeehaw! You need to get that magnet out of your head because you're just absorbing all these bullets. Dear lord.
Yeah, at least it took down the demo man before he died there, so definitely a worthwhile trade if you're a new Panzer, but still don't want to, you know, put metal in your skull to just attract bullets like he is. It does seem...
He has every single sniper bullet I've seen so far.
Yeah. It's like the scouts especially. I don't know. Maybe it's just easier to hit scouts when you're ACN.
No, that head model looks pretty tiny. It's so heavy.
Like usually soldier is the easy class to headshot, but not if you're ACN, I guess. That's just a different level, a different world he lives in.
Maybe he's just playing the bodyguard, you know. Get down, Mr. President. Just jumping in.
Yeah, Randy's got Uber. Still only 80% of patchouli, but you can't really push out on 20% ad, unfortunately. So they're just going to wait it out here until they both have full Uber, and now we're going to be moving forward. Looks like they're going to take this lobby and then start doing some sniper work.
Have you seen Groundhog Day, Beta? Because I'm sure I've seen this before, and the same sort of setup as well, and the same sort of position on this sniper.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting how everyone took the lobby, and then ACM was actually sniping over there.
Okay, I didn't see this last day. What the hell? This wasn't part of the script. As they will Uber in aggressively, I guess. You know, why not put an Uber on your terms here if you're on Noob Panzer? So they will kind of push them out, force them out. AZN will get a kind of wonder snipe on a non kind of shocking class to really get a pick off.
Yeah, really nice job there. I do like the aggressive pop in lobby there. We see it a lot on Sunshine. So I feel like maybe that's a Sunshine innovation making its way onto Process, and it can absolutely work, but it's obviously still better on Sunshine. But I kind of like to see those little... Yeah, Elicor got caught out there really badly, just got juggled very heavily. So now they're a demo man down. Looks like Dwo's going to try and see if he can get in. Bolso is just distracting so crazily. One in, the other one comes in after. And
great rotations, by these soldiers. One goes in, does a bit of damage, gets out, and then the other one just follows up straight after. It's almost like I hope they time that well, and that isn't just like a random luck thing.
Yeah, it looked great. I'll say, just one jumped out, the other one jumped in. Maybe even a bit too fast, because I think that was Ron's, or it was just empty. I can't remember. But
hello?
Ron's
just in. Is Elicor going to die? Crossbow saves him, gets the health pack as well. Double save onto the man, and Ron's effort is just in tatters here.
Yeah, wasted air shot for sure. But now he's going to come in here. Very
Duo.
big jump.
Duo changing targets. Will actually go for Joe instead. Joe's kind of confused, like, there's a soldier there. Well.
Yeah, it was just, I think it was Yeehaw that just pushed him around so heavily. And
no.
AZN again. He just keeps
man.
running in from low and then just getting someone. Before it was the medic, now it was someone else.
Pretty sure that's just like one of those scout suicides. I haven't played sniper in about 2 seconds. It's time to go to that class.
Yeah, Patchouli takes a big rocket, but now all of a sudden there's 3 players down. This is not really looking sustainable for NOOBPANZER. They're going to have to retreat and make sure that nobody gets in behind them. And they are going to make it out alive, but they are conceding this second point. And ASEAN has not gone sniper. It did indeed look like a real shoe and sniper suicide wave. Vanny's going to take another big rocket. Neo was in there as well, but not quite able to get onto Vanny there. So this looks like it's going to be a theme here, TurboTabs. They send in a soldier and then a scout runs in as well. We've seen this a lot, actually, like especially with Yeehaw. This is kind of Yeehaw's big thing. Like Yeehaw will just run in after a suicide wave, and then he'll just get someone.
It does make sense. Usually the ones looking at those doorways will be scouts. The one dealing with those roving soldiers jumping in, scouts. So if they're distracted, why not throw a random scout in there? Obviously the danger is it's a bit more costly than just throwing in your wonder soldier, hoping for like a grandioso hero play. But, you know, we've got to play the game and hopefully win out.
Yeah, Empty is currently behind lines, drawing a lot of attention. They have lost the second soldier as well. Ooh, kind of jumps in a bit too fast, but here comes Rons as well. Gets a big air shot onto Elicor, but he gets saved again by another air arrow. Like, this is just Patchouli saving Elicor over and over again. Like, you wouldn't know it by looking at Elicor's health, but trust me, he was very weak like a second ago.
Oh, the sentry gun is working overtime. It's shooting from 5 different directions. Will go down. Vanny's getting his hands dirty as he will take out Corb. Vanny will pop off his Uber, but this all goes to plan here for top5rocket. They're backing out. They're taking a nice conga line straight up to their second point on the defense and thinking, we can hold this, right? Right?
Right? Yeah, I mean, they have to, but they should get in there and block it, I really feel like.
I mean, okay, that was a lot of respect. I guess they're just playing the slow game, because even if you do cap it here over on NOOBPANZER, like, what have you really accomplished here? Everyone's just 2 tagged from capping the point, and it's not like you gain a benefit on the map. You will just end up getting recapped again by a very patient top5rocket. They've got the overcharge, they're going straight in, they take out the sentry gun rather quickly. They've already tried to find these initial players. They protect Eloquor, who was standing on the point, and breaks out all those initial players as well. There's a lot of suicide thrown into that sort of red blob area, and whether or not these scouts and soldiers have
they're on the point now.
That's a lot of shared rockets and a lot of shared space for Rons to get the cleanup here as well. Where was Petrulio during all this? I think he just was out.
Yeah, I think, like, Yeehaw knew where he was going, but he didn't know where he was going. So, so he was cutting him off through sewers, and then he just ran up the other way, just out through choke. So Patchouli surviving that, I'm very surprised. But yeah, they lost Neo doing the initial Uber push to a soldier on the point, and that was probably it for that push. I feel like that was the big thing that turned it around. They actually still have an Uber ad as well, so if they just build really effectively here, they can just dot push this and they'll actually have another go at an Uber advantage here. And it looks like they are aggressively building with a scout here on Spire, and they're in a very aggressive position as well. I think it's going to be another dot push.
Yeah, they're definitely going for a dot push this time, and there's no wasting time about it. They're trying to... Oh, Joe will be panzered down, shot down by these scouts. Times 4 on the point. They've baited these soldiers on, and it's going absolutely heavenly for them as everybody's protected by that medic. A second round on the board. That's the 2-0 cushion for top5rocket has been established. With just 7 minutes left to go, it's going to be miraculous play for NOOBPANZER to get into it.
Yeah, very clean dot push there. Like, getting the demo man is so big, because that is obviously the main thing that can really slow you down, is just clearing those stiggies on the point. But hey, the fastest way to clear stiggies is just kill the demo man, and they did that brilliantly.
Oh, Cormac! No, you will not go near my demo man, sir, as he gets air shot back, and will take a couple of crossbows, and it's like it never happened, as he will jump past the initial load of top5rocket players. He can't seem to find the tree for the wood. I mean, the bark from the woods here, or however that saying goes, as Wilhelmig continues. And between these 2 skirmishing teams, both soldiers lost as well. They have lost the demo man over on NOOBPANZER, and usually that's a big force in a team on these sorts of mid fights. But they've given them respect here. They're just going to give it up to NOOBPANZER.
Yeah, double scout versus demo scout. I would definitely favor the double scout in that fight, and looks like top5rocket agrees with that. Also, they are ahead. They can just kind of slow it down. We are at a time where, you know, they can just sit back and do nothing and just let NOOBPANZER come to them. And in general, TF2 favors the defensive team. So I definitely understand not taking any chances in that situation. Maybe if the roles were reversed, maybe they would have gone for it. But as it is, I completely understand not going for anything. So let's see how NOOBPANZER decide to try and break this. They've taken into the launch pad, but Eloquor had a sneaky trap, and immediately Rons is just in. Oh, sorry, that's Dro. My bad. And here comes the quarterback as well, just taking up a bunch of attention. But yeah, no one really able to make any real ground so far, and this obviously favors top5rocket in this situation.
Alright, Bisa, we know where this is all going. We have to... What kind of flavour of comeback material do you go for when it comes to these timers? Are you a fan of just running the perma snipers, getting that Kritzkrieg out? What seems to work most of the time?
I mean, currently, you know, you're in a bit of a hurry. Like, you can't be too slow. So I kind of like this approach of just taking an Uber trade and then just getting out and then hoping that they overextend on you. So currently... That is a good way of going at it. I definitely don't like going sniper, because that can slow things down very heavily. Ron's going to come in there. He gets 1 good rocket onto Patchouli, but that is not enough to kill him. You need 2. So as it is, it's just another really nice situation right now for top5rocket. They could push on this, but I wouldn't blame them for not doing it. Okay, AZN takes down Yeehaw, just a nice clean 2-shot. Now they're definitely going to go in here. Everyone just getting spammed out of choke, and That's going to be holding midpoint here for top 5 Rocket. They are actually at an Uber disad, but this is a really nice situation for them.
Yeah, the inefficient players are showing up here. The what I like to call, like, it's not great, but we need to do something. So they're doing stuff at the very least. I can commend it, because something's better than nothing, and just waiting for opportunities to happen that never come. And this is an opportunity in of itself with 2 players down. It's got to be just a heaven sent for NOOBPANZER to try and get back into this. 3 minutes left on the clock, and then some. So maybe they can make it work here.
Yeah, they're going to get 2 V-spawners here on second point, which is really big, which means they're going to be able to contest it very well. But Julie is taking some heat here. Second sword is about to come in onto him. Oh, they shut it down very expertly.
Yeah, really very nice shutter door play as well. If it weren't for that little bunker, I think Pachuli's life would have been in tatters there, but right place, right time. Vanny's going to go aggressive with the Uber. They're responding kind over on top 5 Rocket, and I think there's a little bit more multiing over on NOOBPANZER, so they will just back off here, and things have gone back to a reset point. It's all gravy for top 5 Rocket, but NOOBPANZER have to go back to the drawing board again.
Yep, they've just did the Uber charge. All right, we got a soda and choke. All right, just going to do a bunch of spamming, but not really accomplishing a whole lot. Oh, what do you see?
Hemp taking on the fight against NZN and winning. Oh.
Yeah, now we've seen it all.
Now we have seen it all. This man can't hack. He lost the fight in TF2.
Yeah, that's how that works. All right. Yeah, they've gained a lot of space. Ron's tried to jump behind, but Korvac just immediately shuts him down with the help of Neo. So this is actually looking really dicey right now. Dro does go down to Hemp, and all of a sudden Korvac as well. Hemp is actually just going absolutely ham right now. Maybe he's the one that's just toggled on because he is owning.
The scouts are just being like, just a smidgen away of dying, and they just managed to keep themselves alive just long enough and just towing the line here. And sadly, the line has to keep going forward here, Peter. There are no breaks. They will force out this Uber against Vanny, and Patchouli just sees a red light and decides this is the light to go and just pop his own Uber off to keep things steady. Elacor finds his footing away from his medic though. Will go down. Neo goes down as well. Duo goes down. This is what you just call a good Uber beater. It's back on. Let's see, we've got the second point. They're already pushing last over with Joe and Anti. AZN needs to block the point. He's just a scout though. Will go down. That round is back for them. It's just one round now. Very doable with 1 minute left. Or 1 minute 40, I should say.
I don't want to say it's very doable, but it is doable. This is 1.5 minutes.
Get your calculators out, boys. We're going in.
It's very difficult. Very, very difficult, but it's absolutely possible. So, you know...
Will they not go to mid? Will they not go to mid? The age-old questions of desperation here for top 5 Rocket. And they're going to mid.
Teams wouldn't, but every normal team would definitely go to mid here, because you just need to take down the medic, and then they can't get a proper push going.
Everything needs to go absolutely perfect here for NOOBPANZER, and starting off with Amity going down is not great. Ron's going down, even worse. The scouts are going to have to just chalk up their inner clockwork and start just barreling bullets into all these players. Patchouli is dodging left and right. Yeehaw can't quite land the stats onto him, and he will go down as well. It's going from bad to worse here. It's the worst timeline. The hope has been dashed here for poor NOOBPANZER.
Well, Amty's about to jump in and kill literally everyone, and it'll work. Okay, he's not going to do that. You know, I believed.
The things I would do to that man if he managed to pull off one of the greatest plays in TF2 history. But it's just not for so here, Beta, as we are probably going to end it here. They're even doing a victory lap over on top 5 Rocket. They might get a third round onto the table as they are pushing in with an Uber. And I feel like the wind has got to have come out of the sails here for NOOBPANZER. But is there enough wind for a third round? It is. 3-1, 9 seconds left. This game's over.
Yeah, just like they had a really nice mid there. I think Korvac hit a nice air shot onto Empty, and then like everyone kind of collapsed, but they obviously couldn't retreat because you can't do that when you're trying to win that quickly. So as it was, it just kind of ended up being a round for top 5 Rocket instead. But a pretty close match overall, I'd say. Like top 5 Rocket definitely seemed like the better team, but they were never able to really get very far away. They had some trouble with the last pushes, especially. And there were also a couple of times where they were being, like, NOOBPANZER were just putting on a lot of pressure, and then sometimes they actually did buckle a bit on top 5 Rocket.
So. And There were some scary moments, obviously, when Yeehaw managed to get Weasel his way behind and just kind of get a potential backcap going.
Yeah, like absolutely. Like Yeehaw and ACN both had like really good games, I feel like. So pretty interesting to see how they stack up here on the logs. I'm currently trying to find them.
Yeah, logs.tf is very slippery too.
Yeah. Come on, Zoob. Get some more hamsters in there.
Yeah. Where's that bike pump? Start pumping things into that server box, man.
Yeah.
Dum 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 dum. Well, while we're waiting for these, while we're waiting for these numbers to get developed, is there any sort of man of the match, somebody that we can go look past the logs here, Beta, and think like, whew, you were popping off?
I don't know. I feel like Ya and AZN are just the two main players on this.
I think
it makes some sense. I think the stats are going to back
you're
it
not
up.
saying that man AZN's name because he was popping off in Sniper. He was getting some suicide plays on Scout. I think you're right. It's not the usual kind of easy peasy MVP award to give out, but I think he definitely shied from the pack.
It's very, very interesting. I'm looking at the logs now, and actually, Elikor had like really high damage, but he never died. He never got any kills. His stats look so ugly. But I guess Neo and ACN just like cleaned up really well.
Maybe it's that pocketness of him. Like, let's head down to the medic stats and let's see if yeah, there we go. If you're getting pocketed in as much as Elikor is, and these poor soldiers eating the scraps here, Peter, maybe that's why.
Yeah, that could be. Also, I want to point out that like Ron's, I'm pretty sure he like double air shot Elikor and air shot him like a bunch of times, and then he just got saved by patchouli arrows over and over again. Must have been really frustrating for Ron's because Ron's had a good game.
Oh, I don't like to be the bearer of bad news. I don't like to bully people, Peter. Okay, I'm lying. I do like to bully people, but
Yeah.
Anti, he's having a rough game, you know, and the stats back it up because there was a lot of times where it was like, oh, NOOBPANZER are in a great position here, and then they go on to have Anti just die out.
Yeah, like he had a lot of trouble. I will say, like, Process is definitely the map where, as I said, soldiers will have trash KD. So I'm not necessarily putting too much stock into the fact that he went 4 for 20. That's not like something that really bothers me. Like obviously you want a bit more kills and then that and some more damage, but you also just can't remember any big plays that he made, and that's kind of the big problem with it. It's not the KD that's bad; it's the fact that I can't remember him killing the medic any times.
What else can we decipher here from these sacred scrolls? Fanny, obviously, it's just a sign of any team, really, when the medic stats are getting a bit more doubled over on the other team. But that's more like a team factor thing, you know. You don't think your medic's out there just randomly pressing the suicide button, but who knows? You know, maybe we need to move on as much as these players are going to move on, as we are just in part 1 of 2 of our little ETF2L series. So let's see what we can kind of cook up here into our next map, which will be Gullywash, Peter. Are your hopes any higher here for NOOBPANZER going into this map, or is this looking pretty called for?
I don't think it's going to change too much, really. I kind of feel like... I probably feel even more for top 5 rocket on this map, just because I think they have the soldier edge more than they have the scout edge, to be honest. And the Gullywash is a pretty good soldier map. It's really nice for, but you can also do stuff like send scouts behind. So I could see Yeehaw and ACN both running behind on Big Door. That's kind of a classic thing to see. But I'm not too sure what to really make out of this for how they're gonna stack up. Like reading a process result and then transferring it to Gullywash is usually pretty difficult because they're quite different maps. Gullywash is much more cramped and short distance, and you can kind of get closer to people before they can see you, and you're more in enclosed areas in general. So it's quite different. There's also shorter distances, so you can push more aggressively with small Uber advantages. We saw top 5 rocket do that really successfully on process, so maybe that's a herald of what's to come. Maybe we're going to see more of that, maybe not. But I feel like top 5 rocket, they got the momentum that they needed. I think they're just going to carry that on into the second map as well.
Yeah, it's it's troubling because I think all the sort of eggs I was putting into the yeehaw basket from before is going to be a little bit denied here. It's just too kind of cornery of a map and just too facilitates these soldiers way too much. I don't think you can play that sort of like past the scout style, throwing yourselves in there and just seeing what you can kind of cook up here. So, and Callback and Duo have been impressing me. Ron's is, obviously, I think, I don't know, I feel like they're playing different sort of sides to the coin of the soldier coin, but Ron's is like really showing me that tail side of things. It's just really, really nice and solid to see, and it's just luck has just not been kind to him on that process map.
Yeah, I will also note that, we saw a lot of ACN sniper on the first map, and Gullywash is a slightly worse sniper map in general than Process is. Just because you have more distances on Process, so it's harder to actually get to the sniper. Gullywash is not a terrible sniper map, but it's not quite as good as Process, and like you can't just run sniper to mid or run sniper randomly if you really want to. Like you kind of have to pick and choose a little bit more wisely on Gullywash, I feel.
Yeah, it does feel clumsy at times, but so how important would you say when it goes into just getting that momentum of the first map? Do you think it like brings NOOBPANZER down at all? Do you think the morale might be in a bit of tatters here, or or does it lean? Does it take off the pressure of these players somehow? I don't know. I'm trying to find the silver lining here, Peter. Please help me out.
I don't know. Like, wasn't Vanny and Yeehaw part of the Witness Gaming like just completely folded on the pressure, or? Am I making that up?
Dude, you're killing me out here. You're killing me.
I don't know. I don't think they're gonna take it too harshly. Like it was basically a 2-1, right? A loss on the first map.
Adaptation. What? So you've got this Ron's guy. He's doing all right. Is there a way they can lean more into that? Do you think there's a way they can facilitate his gameplay a bit more, maybe? Or I don't know. I'm trying to find the answers here.
You can definitely try to kind of pocket him more and maybe even have him go banner a bunch. Like, this is a great banner map. And if he's doing really well and just hitting all his rockets, might as well just tank him and get some banners out of it and just roll the enemy team at the same time. That could be a way to really play into having a strong pocket soldier that's doing a bunch of carrying. But yeah. Other than that, like you can obviously just do a bunch of really aggressive soldier plays. So you can do the thing where you take an Uber exchange and Gullywash choke, right? And then you jump a soldier in behind. You can kind of do that quite a bit. And if he's just on his game, then maybe he can just out DM people up top, and then you can re-push in, like that kind of stuff.
I think MT would probably have like a kind of a cleaner side of this map, because whilst it was very aggro on process, this map you can get away with it more. It's those sort of plays, it might be encouraged, maybe even facilitated. So I could see it working out in that sort of style, in that sort of vein. But I don't think it's worth deactivating Yeehaw and Hemper, a little bit more, because they had their moments in that process map.
Yeah, Yeehaw was incredible. Yeehaw was everything we thought he might be. So yeah, definitely just keep leaning into the Yeehaw advantage. He's going to do a bunch of stuff. Like, I want to see them run him behind. I want to see them just tank him a bunch and just really rely on him in Uber situations. Yeah, just let Yeehaw do his thing and just run around and just wreak havoc and hit every single shot, because that's just what Yeehaw does. Wait,
although ACN,
have they broken the map? What's the such a gun outside of? Oh my, ACN really is cheating. Look at that.
I'm sure that's just some sort of pre-game thing. All the invisible walls turned off. Oh wait, people are spawning in there. That's why. There you go. Answers have been given.
Oh, okay. So it's the DM plugin. All right.
I mean, you're not gonna get much DM doing out there, are you? If you.
I mean, if you're spawn out there, you are.
Yeah, MT trying to get it in there, but all right. These two teams, they're getting underway. And the comeback can be made, the comeback could not be made. It's a true Pandora's box, or what is it? No, Schrodinger's cat, until we figure out. We're going into our week 1 second map here. Gullywash. It is top5rocket versus NOOBPANZER. Answers. Let's go. All right. First thing I'm seeing, Peter, is the soldiers getting pretty tanked on the soldier map, and Callback, he's gone straight in. He's taken out poor Rons. Nobody is allowed to stand still here on this new Panzer team, and everyone's just taking too much of shared damage as well. They do manage to keep themselves alive, but with just 20, 30 HP, what could you really do?
Yeah, Juan Kovac, only players to die on their team, but also the two players that absolutely carried that for them. That's just Soldier and competitive in a nutshell, right there. Do all the hard work, get killed for it. But yeah, really great bombings that they had there. Still a big, huge Uber advantage. They're just going to wait for the Soldiers a little bit, I think. Get some really nice buffs in, and then they're going to go here from Riverside. So this is looking great for them. They can take a really quick first round, and that would be such a big help to them.
Ah, it's our boy the Pyro. We didn't see too much of him over in the other maps, but he has reared his face in now to protect that sentry gun. Well, I say to be given the job to protect the sentry gun, he does get taken out, and he even gets taken out by soldiers as well. Tis, because Duo trying to fight up against Ron. The pro AZN as well. Hemp is unaware of this scout. He's barreling straight into his back and will manage to keep himself alive with Vanny just pumping all of those needles into him, and yeah, they hold for now, Beta.
Yeah, really clutch hold there. The heavy was very close to going down, but some clutch errors there from Vanny will absolutely manage to save him. Empty is in very aggressively. He's on a banner, but he doesn't really care. He's not trying to preserve his life really here. He's just locking down the choke and making sure that everyone's gone. Asian's back on sniper. You can absolutely snipe here on mid to second. Yeah.
That didn't take long, did it?
Yeah, not a big surprise to anyone, I don't think, but yeah, this is annoying if you want to actually make plays.
It's good on the defense, but I don't feel like the offense for Sniper here is really too nice. Like, sure, you got this big door, but once you kind of spot it out here, you can kind of just be very timid about it. It does unlock the lower lobby for top 5 rocket, so Duo is going to take advantage of this now, take the scenic route all the way to the top. I don't think anybody's aware of him.
And demo goes down and they pop. This is a disaster already. They haven't even forced out Patchouli. Bro didn't have to do anything. He just walked around up top, and now he's going to get killed for nothing, but it doesn't matter. Everything else just went wrong there. Elicore just did so much work.
Damn, everyone's got some weird skirmishes going off, and Yeehaw is just cleaning up, hoovering up the aftermath of every little weird interaction. And to say that things started so well for top 5 rocket, it kind of went like weird for them over on just going towards the end there. It could have looked a lot more, transitional, let's just say.
Yeah, it was a very ugly fight there, but end result here is still that Patchouli does have a big Ubrad, or well, I should say a small Ubrad, because it's not very big anymore. Elicore's in very aggressively.
Oh, Joe, he's had to meet the poor fate of dealing with a soldier and a scout, and from that two-pronged attack, they will lose a lot of players. The heavy weapons guy that they leaned on so much from last time will go down. It's only a scout with an Uber charge, and they can just kite him out. They just jump away, and there's just not enough DPS in the tank for them to clean up those kills running away.
Yeah, Hemp survived there on heavy with like 1 HP. And there's just no one shot at him, and I think he just couldn't believe he survived that, and then he actually managed to just come in and buy some space. And Asian, he's on another off class.
You can't hack on this class. He will get caught out, and he just turned the corner, and he's back with his team. But it makes you wonder now: is this boy a dead weight? What can you do with a spy that's been caught out and found out?
Yeah, like you can get on the point and just put time on it, and then you can use that as a distraction. But when people go in here, all right, we're just going to get another Uber in here. They have the ad. They take down Vanny. This is really big. So now Asian, it doesn't really matter if he's being effective. He can just get onto the demo man and it'll be fine. Oh, all right.
He closed the line and made the soldier shoot him when he was really close. That was his contribution, and it got them the round.
Yeah, he kind of did 100 damage there, right? Well, no, actually, no, wait. The plug-in ETF2L has with the gunboats always apply thing. So basically he did 11 damage. It's
something. It's anything.
Yeah. He did something.
It was a rocket. Right. He took a rocket away from that soldier. You don't know what
That's true. That's true. He absorbed the rocket. There we go. Sort of very aggressive. Empty goes onto Elicore, but unable to get the kill. And that's a big factor here coming into this mid-fight. And I think it's not going to work out really well here, but there has been a lot of kills coming in return.
Yeah, on paper it sounds like, Joe managed to survive that initial skirmish, therefore, it's going to be a big turnaround. But the scouts did a lot of work, and they weren't really pressured by Doman during all of that. It's a good thing that all the other little skirmishes, and maybe Joe re-entering the fight, a quick tab out from top 5 rocket was the greatest ally for NOOBPANZER there, as it just was too intimidating. They decided to just back out and to keep playing the fight.
Yeah, even Ubers right now, they're just slowly building it up, trying to see what they can do. We have a Sentrygon going up on last. We have Asian on Pyro. This is just like the big old 7-hold, basically. Very, very difficult to block, and you just need the Sentrygon to get in position and they're ready.
Oh! I thought they were playing another spy there. They were like, they know what worked and what didn't work. Just make a spy at any point. But no, they will just do a quick little cat class check from spawn. And Rons gets baited out with some clever little stickies from Medical. You don't see him on that ramp area too much.
Yeah, and Empty's going to go down as well. Dwo will even survive it. This is really nice. Very good opportunity to go out. Asian's going to go on Sniper, see if he can make his way in. Probably going to go Riverside, see if he can get a nice little look.
Now this is a nice little look here. Pick a square, any square. You can pretty much look at it from this second point vantage, and they're not going to be expecting this. They pop off this the Uber over on Vanny, and because they're fighting in this lobby area, they could maybe kind of shortcut their way to last before top 5rocket get a save, but they do get back now. They're a bit flustered, a bit confused about what's happening, pop off their own Uber, and now it's a different game here for NOOBPANZER. They will lose quite a beefy amount of players. I don't know why Joe is trying to rear his head in here. Maybe it's because there's a scout on point and trying to go for a point play, but everyone's so meaty and nobody's going to die to all that damage because there's just too many buffs being given out.
Yeah, nice hold here. Gonna come out now, see if you can get it. There's a sorter in here. They just want Patchouli. That's the only thing they want. That's a nice rocket.
Nice.
Second rocket gets him. There we go. That's pretty much a saving play right here coming out for Rons. Taking down the medic.
Now, do they contest here over on NOOBPANZER? It looks like yes, but it's just bad timing. Duo wants to go and get the jump onto. Vanny will go down. Yeah, AZM with the tiding kill, and it is that sort of trend you were talking about, Beta. Soldier goes in, Scout follows up, and they're applying it to a lot of aspects here of the TF2, offense and defense.
Yeah, they were both top, and they just kind of dove onto the medic. Dwo didn't find the timing, but AZM did. So it's a great job by them. We have some sneaky sticking traps going on right now. Patchouli, he does have that 20%-ish advantage, and this is one of those things where we usually say they can't push on that. Well, you can definitely take lobby and maybe get some peaks or something with it. Like AZN, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go sniper at some point. It looked like he's happy to just sit here on Pyro. They're just gonna see if they can build the perfect. Oh, I haven't seen Elico just put a sticky trap on the lamp. I can't remember ever seing that. So I'm excited to see if that actually works. It's actually really hard to tell. See, like in Riverside, the lamp.
Okay,
have you ever seen that?
I'm moving, I'm trying to find it.
All right. Let me know if you can actually spot it.
This is really bad. I'm embarrassing myself on the stream. I mean, yeah, totally can see it, yeah. Oh, that old trap, yeah.
Yeah, all right, Empty managed to get in there. Sticky trap did get spotted out and spammed away, and Dwo's going to get a kill. And now Empty, he's going to be on the point. Oh, never mind.
Pull back, fastest finger first on that last point, and good so as well. But they don't expect the second scout to come in and try and cap off the point. In the panic pop. Yeah, the panic pop. It's not like the Uber can super defend that point. It won't undo any sort of damage from Yeehaw, but I guess, when you get desperate, you start clicking buttons here, Peter.
Yeah, it's the absolute classic panic pop where you're just like, oh, we need to block this, better pop the Uber. Yeah, as you said, like you don't more block it by popping Uber.
I can see the raw threads being made now already. This is why I'm talking about what medics do. I don't like it, sir. Upfrag me. Alright, we're going in, we're popping off an Uber, and it's not no pussy pops here. They do get the sticky trap onto Rons, and
it's
nice
so
follow
close.
It's just too much though, it's too tantalising. They throw bodies at it mindlessly over on NOOBPANZER, and all sense of structure has been lost. Vanny is going down, poor Joe has just been Minecraft to death. It's just not in the cards here, despite how stacked the deck is.
Yeah, that was just Sonic speed throw there. 1 HP with the pickaxe. You move so fast. Poor demo man.
In the true sense of the name, it was equalized.
Yeah, absolutely. And then he got an error at the end there. All right, we've got what I assume is going to be a push-in, but Yeehaw's going to take a lot of the brunt of the attack away here. Bro's not going to be able to jump in here. I could still see them going for this still, but just the fact that it's a sniper and they lost the player, looked like that might just be enough here for top 5 rocket to just completely halt this push and wait for the respawner.
I'm surprised they don't push lower here over on top 5 rocket. When you're playing against that sniper, you don't really want to fight off and just deal with it at all, but it wasn't really the factor they were thinking about. I think they just kind of, I don't know, like, okay, now they have to respect the sniper from Yeehaw. He's making impact. He's actually getting some body shots onto Elacor as well, despite this sort of, like, quick change of models.
Kovacs in behind now, and AZN is coming in as well. It's the 1-2 punch.
No one can run from the Yeehaw sniper. Will getting clean out of the air as he's just showing wonders here. I was kind of drawing up like, is AZN on fire? Maybe it's just both of the scouts.
Yep, both Ubers have been popped now. Not really optimal Ubers for either team here. So now we're just in a fight. AZN's going to come up top here with his scout body, pushing everyone back, and they're doing a ton of damage. And they're going to be pushing everyone back. Yeehaw has gone down as well. So we're basically back here on second. Ron's going to get taken down, unable to get out and really do anything himself. So it's a 1-man advantage right now for top 5 rocket. Really actually do something about it. It's very difficult to do because they have to get onto the high ground. But Empty, he's going to jump in there very aggressively. AZN will get taken down by a sticky trap. I think that's going to be the call to move out. And now they're wrapping around, kind of, at least threatening to do it.
Yeah, I think they were panicked there. They were like, oh no, the combo's going for choke, back to choke, and everyone just rings around as well. But it was just only a few players, really. Nobody was really backing up, but there wasn't any bite coming out from Vanny and them lot. And it makes sense. The man doesn't have an Uber. They do. So why risk that play?
Yeah, and we have a... Yeah, well, there we go.
The balance is restored as Yeehaw will go down to another snipe.
Yeah, they're just taking turns sniping each other. So I want to see Yeehaw go sniper and get his revenge now. That seems fair.
No, sticking with the scout. I mean, you do feel that pressure as the other sniper to...
Oh, Dwog gets taken down, so now they can't really do anything about this choke. Soda's in very deep. Okay, not able to really get in there in time.
Oh, Elacor's not being looked after and tied to during all of that. So Demoman exchange and Uber's been popped out. They have the numbers on their side, so with these Ubers and post-Ubers, it's definitely in favour of NOOBPANZER. They could probably, oh my, well, AZN is kind of evening out things a little bit, and he will probably, oh my god, he almost got a shot onto Vanny as well, and the respawners have entered the fight again for top 5 rocket, and it's just that little turnaround play was just the big difference. I feel like one scout could have been a huge playmaker there for them.
Yeah, that is, especially when it's Yeehaw we're talking about, but now it's going to be top 5 rocket. They take this midpoint, they lock everything out, make sure that no one can come through the lower. They haven't really locked down the choke yet, but yeah, they're not dumb enough to walk in here, NOOBPANZER, so we're just going to have another stalemate going on here. Vanny does have a small Uber ad, so Patchouli needs to be careful not to get too close to the choke here and just show himself too much, because otherwise he's just going to get an Uber popped on and he'll die to it. But yeah, it looks like, you know, to no one's surprise, Patchouli's not dumb. And he's just going to play it safe. And they're going to go in through this big door. There's some stickies up top over the door. Okay, they have been popped out now. Corbin managed to just skip jump his way in here. And Ron was actually trying to do some aggressive stuff, and he gets taken down. And Scout almost gets taken down as well. And now with the double soda bomb.
Yeehaw, you think like it would be scary having all these players funnel in from top 5 rocket from the choke area, but the man is just not faltered. Oh my god, they just took out Joe. He just kind of walked up to it and he doesn't get any sort of like backup during all of that. And yeah, they've just gone down. What I thought was such a strong Uber for NOOBPANZER ends up just going down.
Yeah, Vanny got like blasted into the skybox and ended up on the high ground, completely separated from the rest of the team. It was nice that he escaped, but he couldn't help his team at all either.
Callback.
Like, yeah, just juggles him away. That's going to be 2-0. Like, Korvac just showing how good he is. Like, Korvac has been making so many big plays this game. He's sort of like the unsung hero of top 5 rocket, I almost feel like.
Yeah, he's just putting in the hours, you know. None of those hero plays. He's just doing some solid TF2, correct plays. Good decision making, just overall a nice performance coming out from him. But
yeah, in all the right moments as well.
But he's not sniping somebody every 2 seconds, so we're not going to pay attention here on the Team Fortress TV stream. He will be paid attention to now, just as he gets bombing in and suiciding in and giving a free mid to NOOBPANZER. The only saving grace, they got Vanny down, and Patchouli is still up.
Patchouli might die though. It looks like he's not going to be able to make it.
Neo
comes in and saves him.
The 360 shot onto him, but did us have a buff as well, so I'll give him a bit of credit.
Yeah, I don't know what it is with Neo, like just doing random 360s and then meat-shotting people. It's just his thing.
I think it's the scout movement, you know. How can you predict a scout, but the scout doesn't know what he's doing with his movement?
Yeah, just doing random 360s.
I think he just like, again, it's just some sort of Tony Hawk thing. He's throwing his mouse across the room.
Yeah, something like that. We have a doubles drop-down play right now. Lots of players coming in very aggressively. This is basically just a full-on push, but there's a sort of behind line. Empty actually going to get the force out. Patchouli popped there. Like, he didn't actually need to, but he didn't know. Like, he didn't have eyes on Empty. And he got hit by a rocket, so he could have been dropped if Empty was in another position.
It is one of those places where if you get shot from that angle, you're like, oh, good God, how did they get there? Better pop. So you not have a full read on the situation, and better to pop it than drop it, I guess some would say. And
yeah, when you don't have information. I don't blame them.
The countering here over on NOOBPANZER. Vanny has gone down during worst. All the dust is starting to settle now, but so this defense, it can whittle away here. Joe goes down. Poor Rons goes down. The only person alive is Yeehaw on that second point, drawing some heads and names back. And speaking of names, where's Patchouli? Oh no, he actually gets it. I can't believe. I thought, well, that's the only play they can go for, and it was just kind of given to them on a silver platter.
MT was in there as well. He took a lot of attention away. Neo was just dealing with the soldier in that time. And then, of course, not always easy here. Callback, he's surfing up on the roof here.
Eleport, he's just being passed on, and he will get a nice helping.
Callback again, though, gets the medic. And AZN, of course, gets the demo man as well.
What on earth is going on in this server right now? We've kind of lost all semblance of control. As players are just kind of walking in. It's very deathmatch right now as AZN is rocked up and sniper, getting these close range shots on players. I don't think both teams have sustained 6 players on the time in the server for the past 2 minutes.
It's been very chaotic, very back and forth. Like, just constantly people getting picked off. Looks like we're going to see a big push in here in Big Door. I think this is mostly just to create space for ACN to maybe get a pick off. But the Soldier's going to be just jumping in here in this Big Door and trying their best to just make it impossible to get a peek out without dying. And top5rocket, they have been rebuffed. They're going to rotate around, make sure that MT or Rons doesn't go through the choke. They've done that a couple of times and with various degrees of success. So, you know, top5rocket, they can't lose sight of this choke, otherwise they might get punished for it. So we're back to a stalemate situation right now. It's about 2 minutes remaining now before the round gets reset. It's been a very long and dirty and messy fight, and as a result, we actually are running kind of low on time here on the timer. This is the first ETF2L season where we have 5 minutes round times instead of 10. Like, Cadus changed that. He came in, he changed things, and then he just fucked off again. I don't know what he is now.
Yeah, he's just he's a wave maker, isn't he? He's just like, I'm bored of this. Comes back down to the from his deity status and be like, you should play the game like this now. All right, we've popped off Ubers. It looks like they want to hold.
Get dunked.
He's they're all hanging out still. They're kind of in a weird place over on top5rocket. They can't really exit the fight because the soldiers are blocking the way. Actually, no, they give up that ground and they're like, oh, excuse me, top5rocket. I seems to be I'm in your base. There you go. And they just let Patchouli through.
Yeah, that was. I thought Rons was going to get owned. He got dunked pretty hard there by Korvac, but now he just got so much work. But then 12 just kills Manny.
Right. Maybe we're rushing things a little bit here on NOOBPANZER.
Yeeha's good.
Oh dear. Well, it's just I'm a little speechless because a lot of things are just kind of slipping between the fingers here of NOOBPANZER. Just when I think things are going good, like something weird just kind of pops off, and then they have 2 choices: they can back out, or they can like just go all in and go absolute bananas for the 1% play, and they take the 1% play 100% of the time.
Yeah, the careful days of 7 are long gone as players. Seems like right now these teams, they're both going all in all situations almost, right? Like things might start going not quite their way, but they're just going to keep on going and pushing their luck. And very often we see like both teams just kind of wiping as a result. It's kind of confusing to watch. But Julie does have the Uber ad right now. They're just slowly pushing everyone out, making sure they don't get bombed by a soldier. Neither MT or Rons could really find an entrance right here. So as a result, we see top 5 rocket, they take mid, and now they have a tiny Uber ad that they probably can't really use right now because look where Vanny is, very far back.
Alright, so I mean, it's still going gravy for top 5 rocket. They can just chill here, set up a picnic, start high-fiving each other, looking deep in each other's eyes, telling them wistful little words of like, we're gonna win this, easy peasy.
Yep. Alright. Elico's kind of pushing out the big door here. Might be just a distraction. Oh, it's going to be for ACN.
Well, that's a mighty distraction, is it? Nothing more distracting than losing your demo man.
Yeah, I thought like they were setting up a throw callback to jump through the choke, but...
Oh, Elicor, what? You have the Uber, but surely, why don't you just leave your man hanging dry there?
Oh, he gave his life so that his team could have an Uber ad. I think that's what it was. Have you ever, as a medic, just went like, nobody, you're dying, we're keeping this Uber. Sorry, man.
But he's your man that you've been pumping like 30% of your heals on. Who is this Uber for? Oh my god, maybe it's for AZN.
Yeah, just Uber that guy. He does a lot of damage.
I mean, they're coming in. Maybe it's like to bait the push out, but AZN just gets another sniper into Yeehaw. It's not a push without Yeehaw taking the sniper.
Gets another one.
Oh my!
At least he dies.
Well, it's answered our question. Like, why need an Uber?
Yeah.
I mean, he does go down. Like, AZN does die. He does bleed.
But Patchouli does not have to use his Uber here, so this is a fantastic situation. Now he's got a nice backup here from MT. If only he had his little pain train, this would have been actually like really dangerous. As it is,
I think
not
even then he wouldn't be able to press it. I think they cap at the same rate, don't they? So it would still be like a ×3 against that ×2. Does manage to reconnect to his team, so nothing wrong with going for the play if you can still end up at the same sort of defense position.
Yeah, Kovac takes down the center gun. That's nice. That means it's going to be a lot easier to make some sort of suicide play work. We'll see what they do. Usually teams try to run and play through.
Oh, aggressive Uber?
Yeah.
No, they're backing off now.
Patchouli goes down.
Patchouli goes down. How does that even happen in the year of 2022 in River? How?
Rons came in from behind, from the lobby, and then like he didn't do that well, but then a random roller just finished off Patchouli. So the play worked out.
Oh my god, AZN trying to set up for the back cap, but they know they can smell him in that lower area and will kind of push him out of that area. With an 100% Uber charge, I think they're kind of shocked. It's like, oh, well, what do we do now? It's time to start pushing in, I guess. There's Anti getting a bit aggressive for my liking. We'll get a crossbow. Maybe all going to plan as they will get this second point for 3. They hold on to this Uber, so ready to push into mid. They've got sticky traps to worry about at this choke area. They pop very early against a potential sniper, but AZN is actually not running it this time. They find a couple of kills hiding in like bushes, random corners of the map, and it will be a midpoint, but that did cost them an Uber charge.
Yep. This is going to be the seesaw action where they keep exchanging midpoint for Ubers, and it's just a matter of can you actually catch the enemy medic, and this can be very difficult to actually do, but Vanny currently is holding very far forward. I'm kind of surprised. Like, he knows he has Uber disad.
I mean, have you seen the flank team of NOOBPANZER? They're in. They're actually in. And, like, I don't think the rest of NOOBPANZER have got the memo. They've had to take out half the team before Yeehaw's like, all right, I'll get off the seesaw.
Patchouli died again.
Oh, Elicor, he's been... AZN is actually got behind, got on top of Vanny. Joe just kind of slaps him with a nice peep.
Yeah, we have a demo man fight. These can be pretty derpy. All right, Elico's gonna jump.
Oh, no, he isn't. He's baiting us. I mean, what do you do? What is the...
You might just want to kill yourself at this point.
Yeah, there's no correct page in this pick your own adventure.
Oh, okay. At least he trades with the
that's
soldier.
actually... Yeah, that's probably the best thing he could have done.
Yeah. I mean, he probably could have killed himself 10 seconds earlier, but...
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, but taking someone down with you, pretty good. Pretty sly.
Yeah. True. True.
We've got an engineer, we've got a pyro, so it must be we've got the last defences. They are trying to set up for any sort of aggressive play, and keep in mind, the time is squeezing against poor NOOBPANZER, so They might do something insane here, which has been the trend for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, they've been trying to get people into water. They've got Rons in there so far, but
And there goes the sentry.
not able to do much. I think he accidentally splashed stickies into himself as he was trying to jump away, and then Elikor killed him with them. That was pretty funny. But yeah, very unfortunate. They don't have that much time because they need to get 2 rounds here, so they have 4 minutes. Right, so if they have like a minute or so to work with, and then they really need to start doing things, and then I think about 1.5 minutes we saw is about the least amount of time you do get around in, right?
Yeah,
like realistically.
I think that time is, well, maybe not half, but it is a bit low on Gullywash. It's kind of a tiny map if you really, really wanted to start speed running things. But it's not the ideal, it's not the situation as, again...
Yeah, we're not talking about a theoretical optimum, we're talking about like a realistic gameplay scenario.
Fair play. But I remember casting a few of those, those theoretical ones. They happen on this map. Just teasing.
Yeah, they're trying to take down the sentry gun, but right now they are not having success. They lost both scouts there, just running into a sentry gun. This could draw people forward. They could go for the double spy play. I'd love to see that. That is the play, right?
And the play has already been dashed as Hempip will be coming back as scouts. Yeehaw could probably off-class onto something. Oh, no. We're going to full cookie cutter here over on NOOBPANZER. 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
Duo's in. He's making waves, but not enough splashing, as he will go down. Cut the tension with a knife.
You might just have to do something crazy at this point. Like, do you just go?
I don't know why they've managed to pump the brakes on things now. I think it's just because it's so close, They just need to, just
encapsulate they're trying to do a play on the point right now. I like that. That's kind of the safest play you can do when you have a big Uber disad. Send people into water and put pressure on that way.
But it is one of the more telegraphed plays, as top5rocket are blissfully aware of this entire point play.
And also, like, the whole fact that the sentry gun is still there, you really need to take down the sentry gun, because the sentry gun will just take the heat off of you so much when you're trying to do pressure plays. 2 minutes and a little bit more is all that remains right now. Time is just slowly running out. Just ever so slightly. Okay, Ron is in water again. But
damn, they've got a crack SWAT team for point as soon as they see somebody go into water. Oh, this is looking good. Callback going down, sentry going down. They do exchange Ubers of things. I like this because it adds to the bit of the chaos. Neo's brought back as the heavy weapons guy. Ron's is trying his best to kite him. I think there was a reflect coming out from AZN as well. And yeah, they actually play out the long fight, and the 2 different angles has netted them around here, Peter.
Yeah, it's almost the exact same thing as before. They have about a minute and a half.
Yeah, quick. Everybody smashes their tab key at the same time to see, is it possible? Are we going to be seeing ourselves on the Twitch clips? 1 minute 40, that's quite clippable.
Yeah, like you can absolutely win this. Like, this is a completely reasonable time to get around. All right, let's see what they do in this mid. Basically, if they lose their medic, it's over. It's going to be so difficult to capture last here, so Vanny needs to stay alive.
They can't find him. Actually, the soldiers are trying to find him at Victor, but they're just not there. And, I mean, the next best step for top5rocket is to just delay NOOBPANZER.
Oh, Vanny's so weak. Oh,
it will go down to the final rocket, but, maybe they can still keep leaning on the fact that, they have some momentum, they have their player numbers up, they're trying to go from choke. Amty's denying them of that choke area. Yeehaw as well, they're getting farmed at choke. The potential's here, the pieces are set up, but the health is just not their way, and I guess they just have to play this on hard mode. Yeehaw's trying to get the last, he's baiting some rockets in already. The other players are going from river. Yeehaw manages to weasel his way. I lie, he does go down. Rons is on last point.
Oh,
They get the round. 2-2, baby, we're going to a golden cap.
That's incredible. They lost their medic, but they just kept on taking scrappy fights and winning them. And then they got them 2-2. Really big comeback. We saw on the first round they couldn't do it, but second map they could.
That was one of the harder ones to make the comeback as well. No medic, everyone was on orange health. They have got to be just absolutely bliss right now over on
Yes.
Noob Panzer.
They got to be really elated for that. And like usually the main way you win a fast round, like the how-to on how to do it, is your medic survives, the enemy medic dies, you more or less wipe the enemy team, and then you just roll all the way to last and win with the Ubrad push, right? Like that's how you win fast rounds in TF2. And just the fact that they managed to do it without getting that optimal scenario, that's really impressive.
And the worst part is top 5rocket. They had choices. They definitely could have backed off at certain areas. They could have just played it safe, but they went for like the choke for some reason. I don't know why. They really wanted to just hold it there or go for the wraparound push play there, but it just again they could have done just the world famous don't go to mid, and that is almost guaranteed to get them that. That round, but it's just people have this honor system, and they would rather win it with the mid than without.
I kind of disagree. I feel like the enemy, they need to take 3 points to win, and if you just give up the first one for free, then they just have the same amount of time to get 2 rounds, and that's just easier. Like that's my opinion. I feel like you're just giving them a chance. So.
Well, up for debate says we are going to go to a golden cap. So players right now in the locker room, coaches screaming down their ears, telling them like some motivational speeches and gameplay advice. And what advice would you give these players right now, Beta, if you were going to coach any of these teams? What wise
if
words?
I was NOOBPANZER, I would absolutely just say ride the momentum. You just beat them.
You're in their heads.
Yeah, exactly. And you've done it on both maps where on the first half you're behind and then you come back and then you win. So now you're in the latter half of the map. So now this is where you have the advantage. So you just keep riding that until your inevitable victory, right? That's kind of how I would look at it. And whereas the top 5 rocket, I'd just say...
ACN, where's that sniper class? Where's that sniper class, lad? Yeehaw is running around and I don't want him running around.
Yeah. Oh, talking about Yeehaw, he is outside of the map again.
Yeah, everyone's just having a cigarette. You have to go outside. It's a non-smoking zone.
Yeah, I think that's true. He's like inside a rock right now. Oh no. Okay, I need to stop speccing him. I'm getting like overflow warnings in my client. This is not good.
No wonder you've been crashing so much.
My poor little PC.
Oh.
I'd buy a new PC if PCs weren't expensive.
Well, how about this then? You could buy a new PC with all the money you're going to put on one of these teams. Who are you putting your money on?
Ooh.
Think about that PC, Beta. It needs to be a very, very smart decision.
I'm going to go with NOOBPANZER.
Oh, the marbles on NOOBPANZER. They've got a good going rate. That's probably like a 7-1 bet.
Yeah.
You're going to buy yourself a pretty PC if they win this out.
Yeah, I'm going to need like an i13 processor. That's a thing, right?
i13? I think, man, you're making up numbers.
Yeah. There's like i9s
I think
and
there's
i7s.
i11. I think there's an i11.
Is there an i11?
I know there's an i9, but I think there might be an i11.
I have an i7 on the one I have right now, but it's so old that it doesn't matter.
We'll see. Well, for the i13, the i44, let's see if you're going to be right. Whilst, I don't know. You have to. I mean, as much as I want to be the devil's advocate, NOOBPANZER are just feeling themselves right now. I think it's probably good. It's great to have these sort of golden caps as the kind of snap out of it for these top 5 rockets. Things were looking very loosey-goosey between both of these teams, and I think it does lend more to this more skirmishy DM central team, which is NOOBPANZER to me right now. So let's see if this kind of clears the throat of top 5 rocket. But I will join you in that NOOBPANZER bet. Let's go. All on the blackjack table, baby.
Yeah, this can't go wrong. We've seen we've seen the pattern. We've just read the tea leaves. We know exactly what's going to happen. So let's see if they can just
let's see if they follow the script
going.
that we dished out earlier. All right, boys and girls. It's the golden cap. It's ETF2L season 42. It's week 1 of our final map, our final gameplay of this week. And already AZN is watch sniper and he's taken out Vanny. That is not a good sign for for poor NOOBPANZER as well. And, oh god, everyone is just dying to the winds. What can you predict? How can you predict your medic going down to a sniper at the start of Gullywash?
I know. I think I managed to say at some point that you can't just go sniper to mid on Gullywash in the warm-up. So that's wrong. You absolutely can. I like the curveball being thrown out here by them. But Dro's going to go forward, trying to be sneaky, I guess. That's actually a really bad play by him. There's no reason to go for any kind of pick here.
Empty. Thought maybe getting caught on that riverside. AZN. There's the only place you can realistically snipe from, and he gets a peek through. They will take out the sentry gun. They pop the Uber through. They've got rid of these. Oh no, not quite yet. The stickies on the point. The soldiers have actually wrapped around a bit and made things a bit awkward for poor little top 5 rocket. But surely will keep himself alive, but that means no more AZN sniper. And no, that's the trap. How does Patchouli die to that? He knows that they're spamming that point. Maybe he had confidence that his scout shot that sticky, but he didn't.
Yeah, just he knew he couldn't stay there for very long, so he just very quickly went. Oh, Elik's about to get flanked. Yeehaw's on him. Gonna two-shot him. There we go. I really feel like this was all Dro's fault.
Oh, Corb back. He goes down as well. AZN won't go down as well. Maybe getting a... You know, you get a taste of that comeback and you feel a bit too big for your boots there and carry on, overextend. Kritzkrieg has come out for Patchouli, keep in mind, Beta.
Yeah, he's building awfully fast. It builds about 75% faster, so you need to be careful of that. And so it looked like the Frenchies, top 5 rocket, this is their way.
Okay.
Oh, Neo gets owned by by MT.
Oh my god,
really
MT
nice
actually gets out as well. That's it was again the 1% play, but it actually worked out.
AZN he just runs in on him, and now they have a Kritzkrieg, but they don't have very many players. This is actually like a good solo Kritzkrieg situation.
I don't know, they have Demoman's pretty good, and it's those sort of things where they're like, oh no, we're losing, guys, fall back, and then the crit sticky like just slaps you in the face.
Yeah, this is looking like a perfect crit sticky situation, but they're gonna actually rotate around to choke. Yeah.
He charged. Yeah, he charged up. He was like, "Wait, there's something wrong with my Kritzkrieg, guys. Let me just bind that mouse 2 again." Any second now.
Any second now.
Any second now. There we go. There's just the decoy thing. This is the real sticky, and it hits nobody. It's going for the second sticky. Hits nobody. Everybody's backed out. Nobody got hit by this Kritzkrieg.
Oh no.
I think that first sticky was really good as well, which is a real shame.
Yeah, he didn't pop. Like Patchouli, I guess mumble crashed or something.
I don't know. Maybe Elikor just didn't call for it. You know, you hear him. He's like, "Hey, call for it," and no words are said.
No. By the way, Joe is on the loose cannon. By the way, he's been since last point. I don't think there's a good angle to like bounce people around with the loose cannon on last, but maybe I'm wrong. I guess there is. But I want to see a double dong. It is the best sound in TF2. It is so satisfying.
Yeah, this does turn into a cartoon, doesn't it, when you see those double dongs kick in. They just let Core back in. They just think like, well, can't catch them all. It just goes behind. And they don't want to entertain the idea of chasing him as well. That'll just waste too much time. But Amty, poor Amty, is on their own after hold this whole house area and against all these players floating
Scout
about.
Behind as well.
Oh, they popped off at choke. Kritzkrieg came out. Uber to counter, and they're pushing with the Uber to see if they can chase any of these kills. But they feel like they're being given the rope to tie themselves with, as they will back out. Rons didn't get the memo, however. Vanny is changing his mind about maybe going back in, and goes back in, goes and backs out again. There's a scout behind. AZN cleans up an easy Vanny kill because he's brought down so low from before. Amty kind of joins in, actually gets the kill against Elikor as well, breathing some life into this team. Ooh. Hem gets the turnaround onto Neo. 1 HP warrior. Rons comes into the fight again now. He will fight up against that, but surely wants a slice out of this man. He's missing he actually gets a slice out of the man. We've got Kritzkrieg up for Duo just about, and Duos is the only one that's breathing some sense to this team. Let's stop that W key press for just 2 seconds, team.
Yeah, and now this is why you wish you had an Uber, because that would be so much easier to use, but instead it's a Kritzkrieg.
Okay. Oh, Elikor. Will he call for it this time? Is Mumble activated? Duo's like, guys, are you not using the Kritzkrieg? I'm waiting.
Poor guy. I'm pretty sure he was
Oh,
just...
soldier in the sky will go down.
What
Oh,
are they waiting for?
Amty is in the lower spawn area as well. He sees the medic, and he could maybe do the flank here. Everyone's so distracted.
Yeah.
It's golden cap mode. Nobody's looking behind. The quick screen pops off, and so does Amty. Will get the kill onto Patrulli. It's a short-lived crits. As now, with an Uber charge almost bubbling away for Vanny and company, they can still make this fight. AZM will lose, will lose the life of Yeehaw, actually kills him. Scout, Soldier launch pie in the sky, will crater as well. Uber was forced out, however. It's still going this round. I bet you're glad we're not using Kada's rules for this round.
What?
That's the, you remember that round that just goes on
the
forever and
was
ever
always
and ever.
overtime. Right, yeah. I was like, yeah.
My references are out of control, Beta. You can get up here. Get on my level.
One day. Alright. Are they still on Crits Creek, though?
Trap, the hiding trap from Big Door. Yeehaw's going to go down. That's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, it looks like they're still going to be able to take this mid point, so it's not the biggest loss in the world, but it will obviously stop any forward momentum. This would be a good time to sneak in a scout behind, but that's just not an option right now.
Alright, these teams. We've gone back to miniguns for both of these teams now. Rons is forcing his way through choke and will force his life to go down. They pop the Uber first over on NOOBPANZER, and then they respond in kind over on top5rocket. They maybe want to commit to this. Yep, they're definitely committing to this. They are in the barrel of Joe, and he will go down, but in all of that sort of post-Uber grinding, they will go down to the post-fight, and these soldiers and scouts just fluttering about. AZN kind of just checks with the vibe and keeps going, dies immediately. The vibe is going sour here for top5rocket as they're pushed to the last point. No Uber charge intact, and players only just respawning.
Yeah, they are going to respawn just in time to be able to stop any kind of suicide play. Normally in these kind of situations where, Ubers are just not in place at all and you can't really push on it, you just send in 2 players or something and try to get the medic.
Did they spot Ron going into water there? I think they did, as they're sending duo now, and they've got some sticky traps for that rough area. And Alikor, was that a blind test? I think we'll get the kill onto Amty. Yeehaw is now like they don't suspect the second player going up onto this point, but
Alikor might die.
He's actually capped it out. He's capping, I should say, but there's a lot of players that just happen to be fluttering at the same time on that point area, and the rest of NOOBPANZER nowhere to be seen. Not really a sync-up play there, it was just a hero play.
Yeah, Kovac was chasing Vanny, but unable to get to him. Gonna jump out now. Nope, he fumbled.
Oh, he's on the medic. He actually forces the Uber out, and Vanny comes from behind the point, basically. And I think Neo even gets into the mix as well, killing a few players before he dies, and it's just not ideal for NOOBPANZER, but at least they haven't got the time really breathing down the neck. They want to make a push at this, because it's almost like a pretty good Uber for them to go in if it wasn't for those 2 players going down on their squad as well. They're just making them feel the pressure here. Duo will kill that Hemp who's hiding in shadow, so things can calm down now for these 2 teams.
Yeah, they have the Uber ad to go out there. And I like this. In 10 minutes the server ends. That's perfect timing. Neo goes down to the double donk. Well, not the double donk, but
just a regular donk.
Yeah,
old donk.
A singular donk.
A slapping donk. As the soldiers are trying to donk on this medic, and truly will pop off this Uber. Is 2 soldiers worth it at this point of the game? We'll see, as if it comes down to whether or not they can hold this second point from an arm's length over on NOOBPANZER, and Yeehaw wants to stay in. They want to be collective. There are a lot of people.
The demo though.
There are a lot of people in that blender, you're right, and with that going down, Yeehaw is just but a scout. Can he claim a kill to make this Uber a bit more worth it? Gets the kill onto Alikor. That's pretty something. Yeehaw gets the kill onto this Neo scout as well. He's the only one at last. There's nobody there to defend him.
Wow.
They get the round here for NOOBPANZER. He taunts. Justified here by Yeehaw. Massive, massive clutch pay for him to get the round for his team.
Saves it, absolutely, because that was so messy. And it was looking like they were going to get pushed all the way back. And there you go. Yeehaw wins it for his team, and hey, also kind of saves the match. They're gonna still be losing overall. They're gonna be losing 4-2 in terms of points. But hey,
But
that's
I
pretty
think
decent.
that, to be honest, that explains the matchup quite nicely. I thought when we were like drawing up these two teams, like we got the dark horse over here, then the playoff contender over here, and I feel like it sums up, decorates these two teams again quite nicely into that ETF2L storyline, at least from our predictions, anyways.
Yeah, and we got some answers, I guess. Like top five rocket, they're good, but they
They're not
also have.
flawless.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, and new Panzer, they're dangerous, and that's kind of what I expected.
Yeah, and then in just in the scrappiest way possible as well. It's just like again, it just reads like a script here, Peter, and we couldn't orchestrate it and write it ourselves. All right, let's have a look at. I'm not going to look at the what's it logs, the golden cat
Cap?
logs, because they're always a bit janky. They're always weird. You're like, how many damage? How much? What the? But looking at the regular match logs, what I'm seeing is Elacor still finding this mystery damage. It doesn't feel like he's blazing on these servers, but he's finding it.
Yeah, he's getting some kills now, finally, right? Like Neo and Asian aren't stealing all of them. So that's neat.
But
Good for him.
it's a high def. You can look at the chaos and all the stats here. There's a lot of double digits I'm seeing between everybody here. The only one that's been left out of the party is maybe Amty, but I think Amty just seems to have the more aggro job between the two.
Yeah, this is like some real Div 2 logs, right? Where everyone just keep dying.
Oh man. You're right. You go into this. You go into those officials with the best of intentions. Your scrims are probably like resembling of Seven themselves, Peter. But you go into those officials, and I don't know, Pasta just starts falling out of pocket.
Yeah, it's a real thing. It's so hard to keep everything under control. It kind of shows just how difficult it is. So yeah, but yeah, I just want to say congratulations to NOOBPANZER for winning that. That's
Yeah. Congratulations to just both teams. A very entertaining match as well. It was tempting there to maybe go a bit quieter, a bit like. But NOOBPANZER, they draw out the clutch, they make the Twitch clip happen, and they're going to have a wonderful memory as a team to start off this ETF2L season.
Yeah, we already had two other matches this week, so we need one more. I think that's going to be played next week.
Yeah.
But we do still have another week one matchup. It's going to happen Tuesday.
Okay, all right. Well, that's going to be all very exciting. But if we're going to get to week two, Beta, or at least week one in a bit, and then the week two, we need to close off our little week one game here. So, is there anything you want to say to the nice people before we go?
Thank you for watching. I will make a demo call at some point because last season's frag video would not have happened if that had not been open. All the demos were broken. And it was like every time I wanted to watch a demo, I would just open up TF2, I'd launch the demo, and then TF2 would crash. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing something else then. Because, I could fix the demo, but I could also just do something else. So hopefully the demos work this season. I really hope so.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Otherwise, I'm going to give a big shout out to our two teams, top5rocket and NOOBPANZER, for, again, an excellent game. Congratulations to, I guess, technically top5rocket, as they will get 4 points out of this, but NOOBPANZER probably sitting there smiling with their 2 points in their pretty clutchy game as well, so credit to them as well. A big shout out to my co-caster Beta, who's been a darling as ever, and, with the Sunday crew, we've got to keep it up. And obviously a big, massive, giga, beer-filled shout out to JMax and his just production ways. Thank you. As otherwise, a big shout out to you guys at home. You're the reason we do this. Thank you for watching. A big shout out to all teamfortress.tv things. Shout out to all the people I forgot. And yeah, shout out to a goodbye. Bye-bye.
Good night.